job. If every convention could run that smoothly, it would be a delight every single time. So North Carolina lived up to its reputation as a great host. Congratulations to everybody. President Obama. Oh, it's all right. I was also used to the humidity. I come from Texas. President Obama last night reminded all of us why we supported him in 2008 and why we continue to support him today. He gave a wonderful speech last night, and to me, my favorite passage, my favorite line from his speech really was about calling us to work hard as individuals, but also to work hard as citizens, to engage in citizenship. Really, if you think about it, the choice that we have in this election is a vision of either working hard as individuals and also working hard as a nation, as one United States of America, to accomplish great things. It was a nation that sent a man to the moon. It was a nation that built the world's strongest economy. It was a nation that built the land of opportunity that we have today. Or a campaign and a message that says, you know what, I think that you can do it on your own. We can all do it on our own. That doesn't make sense. And President Obama reminded us yesterday of the clear choice that we have. Of course, on Tuesday, I had an opportunity to speak as well. This week has been quite unlike any other week of my life. My brother and I had the chance, he introduced me, and the day before we were supposed to speak, we went to go do sort of the dry run, the rehearsal, and they had a guy named Jim, who's a veteran, very nice guy. He must be about 65 or 70 years old, who is super meticulous about the stage. He asked us, in fact, to practice how we were going to shake hands and then how we would pivot our feet to actually go in different directions. Seriously, he takes the stage. So I had told my brother before I got there, my brother said, you know what, we probably would have, we want to say hi for a second after we embrace. And I told him the day before, you know what, Joaquin, in case I have wobbly knees or something, I'm probably, let's just do that quickly so I can get to the stage, and if I have to lean on it, so I don't fall down, just so I can get to the podium. But I walked out, and I was feeling good, and the Black Eyed Peas song was playing. And I said, and so we hugged, and it was a very meaningful moment for me, of course, to have my brother there. And I told him, well, let's wait for the Texas delegation. And I was feeling good. And then I hit the podium, and I look up. Everybody out there. And my first 3 lines were supposed to be of my speech, my fellow Democrats, my fellow Texans, since I'm from Texas. I see we have some Texans. You always put Americans last, right? And so I said, my fellow Democrats, my fellow Americans, my fellow Texans. And I was worried that all the Democrats are going to think that here's another egotistical Texan. But at any rate, what I relayed was my own story about my grandmother who came over here from Mexico when she was a young girl, and she dropped out in elementary school. And because of that, never was able fully to reach the American dream herself. But she worked very hard as a maid, a cook, and a babysitter, so that my mother could go to school and finish high school and then go on to college. She was the first in her family to go to college. Woo-hoo! She worked very hard. She worked very hard and brought up my brother and me after the age of 8 as a single parent. And we went on and went to public school, graduated from college, went to law school. We went to Stanford, which I know is the Duke of the West. And then I talked about my daughter, who had a great hair flip. And my daughter is what I hope for her. And I know that all of us have a Victoria in our lives. And just like all of us have a Karina, who's my daughter, all of us want the same thing, no matter where we come from. And to me, what was special and why I support President Obama is because he understands that we need to invest in opportunity. That all of us can work as hard as we want, and so many of us, everyone does. They work hard. But it takes working hard yourself and also a commitment that we make as a nation. For me, that was a good public school. That was being able to get Pell Grants and Perkins loans so that I could afford going to Stanford. The year that my brother and I applied to Stanford, my mother made less than $20,000. And it cost $28,000 completely for each one of us to be able to go. We never would have been able to get that education. And I bet up the road at Duke and all the other universities, you can hear that story over and over. My grandmother, she lived with us. She would get several $100s of a Social Security check. You know, and our seniors depend on that Social Security check. And so we need to make a commitment, not just to be hardworking individuals, but also as a nation, to replenish that sense of citizenship and sacrifice that we make all together. That's what this election is all about. That's the clear choice. I wanted to come here today and give you a very big thank you, a big Texas thank you, and to say that y'all know better than I do how important North Carolina is going to be in this election. I mean, last time, 14,171 votes or 77 votes or something like that, right? Y'all remember what happened in the year 2000. I remember watching the results that night. And I think, a lot of us would have a different opinion of how it should have gone, but if you take the official opinion, it was 537 votes. Every single person that we register, everybody that we convinced to get out to vote, everyone that gets to talk to one of their family members and drag their family member out to go vote, in early voting or election day, all of that is going to make a difference. And on election night, we don't want to take a chance. We don't want to be watching it at midnight or 1 a.m. We want President Obama to be declared the winner. North Carolina on that map on CNN or ABC or CBS, and it's going to say we've called, North Carolina has been called for President Obama. And when that happens, it's because of the time that you put in, the hours that you put in out there in the community, block walking, phone banking, emailing, tweeting, Facebooking, everything that you got to do. Heck, sometimes even talking face-to-face. So thank you very much for being here. Thank you for the next 8 weeks. It's going to be, I know, frenzy, but also very much worth it. Because we want to re-elect a man who believes in us, who believes in America, who is going to make a greater America in the future. Thank y'all.